Dr. Rosemarie Allen, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Always so nice to have you in studio. All right, so more students start class on Monday, of course. We've had a few already start. Teachers are concerned about challenging behaviors. So how do we differentiate between problematic behaviors and maybe kind of normal behaviors?
That's such a great question. So many times when I hear people talk about challenging behaviors, I ask, who's challenged? Who's being challenged? Is it the adult or is it the child? And what we see more often than not is that children are engaging in really typical behaviors based on their age and stage. We know 2-year-olds are going to say no, stop, don't. 3-year-olds are choose on steroids. They're going to try you every second.
Yes.
4-year-olds will argue with a wall. 5-year-olds know everything. 6-year-olds are dysregulated.
It's like you're in my life right now, truly, with my 3 and 4-year-olds. Yes, it's so true.
And if you know that, you can expect those behaviors and expect that children must go through those stages. And the more we know about challenging behaviors and we know about typical behaviors, then we can understand that children will be children, and it's really up to us to respond appropriately to typical behavior.
Stay calm, breathe through it. But if something is happening like this, there's like some type of emotional crisis that's happening with a kid, and everyone needs to stay calm. How do you keep a child calm at the same time as the teacher staying calm?
Thank you, Corey. We have to remember we're the adults. The children have only been on this planet a few years. Your 3-year-old has only been here 3 years. In the first year and a half, they were just learning how their bodies work. And now all of a sudden they're experiencing huge emotions without the capacity to articulate or solve problems. And that's where we come in as the adult, and we can say things like, I understand you're frustrated. This is really hard. Of course it's hard for you. When a child is having a meltdown, it's hard. But if you can remember who you are as the teacher, as the parent, take deep breaths with them, that helps you too.
Yeah.
Let's hold hands and breathe deeply. I understand you're frustrated. What else can we do? That goes a long way with not only helping the child regulate, but you're modeling for the child how they can behave and how they can respond, and you're also helping to regulate with the child.
Such good advice. So children of color are disproportionately disciplined or suspended. Why is that?
We know that implicit and even explicit bias is a factor, because 4 decades of research has shown that Black children are up to 4 times more likely to be suspended than their white friends, Corey, even while they're engaging in the exact same behaviors. And then there's a phenomenon called adultification. Studies show that Black boys especially are thought to be 4.5 years older than they really are.
Wow.
And Black girls are thought to need less comforting, less nurturing, that they're much more sophisticated. And when you view Black children in this way, then you expect them to behave older, and they lose the innocence of childhood. So they're then held accountable. They're held accountable and more culpable, and they're much more harshly disciplined.
Knowledge is power, and that's why it's so important. We know the studies, we look back on it, we try to change what's happened for the future, for the better future. Dr. Allen, as always, thanks for coming in.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Always great seeing you.
Take care.
Ed?